Your wandering nephew has returned.
Well, how do I go in if I do not enter? Uncle Martin? Uncle Martin, wake up. You're blowing your top.
Oh, Tim. Tim, you weren't supposed to be home until tomorrow.
Well, it's a darn good thing I got back today. You were asleep at the switch. You had steam coming out of your ears, and you were... What were you doing, anyway?
I was merely cleansing my system of fluosis. And at no time was I in any danger of blowing my top.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd sort of popped a safety valve or something. And what are you looking at me like that for?
I'm looking at you, and I'm looking for symptoms. Your misguided zeal has exposed you to the virus.
Virus?
Virus M, commonly referred to as fluosis.
Fluosis? I never heard of it.
Of course not. It's been exclusively a Martian malady. Until now.
Did you say until now?
Mm-hmm. Go over there and look. Go ahead.
What am I supposed to do now? Go and get a job as a real live barber pole? Uncle Martin, I have always said that you are more than welcome here. But next time you visit, would you mind leaving your weird Martian germs at home?
I might remind you, Tim, I did put a sign on the door warning you to stay out.
Well, all right. Well, I thought you were in trouble. How was I to know you were steam cleaning your head?
Well, nothing done that can't be undone. I have some biocarnate beryllium that will remove the stripes and also prevent the other symptoms from occurring.
Yeah, just 1 second. What other symptoms?
Oh, nothing of any consequence. Without the inoculant, you might run a slight fever alternating with a cold... Brennan.
Well, don't tell me your charming landlady has finally recognized your true character and is throwing you out, bag and baggage.
Certainly not. Tim has been out of town on an assignment for his newspaper.
Oh, really? And I thought the air was clear because the smog had lifted. Is he playing charades with that south of the border fedora? I give up. What's he supposed to be?
A man who's minding his own business. I suggest you go elsewhere and do likewise.
Oh, Hara, you're up to something. There's guilt written all over your face. Is that really your nephew behind that hat?
Of course. Who else could it be?
That's what I'm going to find out.
Well, hi, Brennan. Catch any crooks lately?
Well, what have we here? New dimensions in the art of finger painting?
Oh, how very perceptive of you, Brennan, considering you flunked kindergarten.
I'm sorry that you've got to run, Brennan.
It would seem to me, O'Hara, that you're inordinately anxious to be rid of me.
Oh, it's nothing personal, Lieutenant. It's just as Shakespeare said, rub the poor itch of your opinion and make yourself scabs.
I think he also said, and I quote, so full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing what it spilt.
Yes.
Oh, you don't fool me for 1 minute. Your evil little mind is engaged in some nefarious enterprise, and I mean to find out what it is.
So what's what?
Conspiring to endanger the health and safety of an entire community. Well, there are laws on this subject, I'm happy to say.
Now, just one cotton-picking minute, Brennan. There is nothing wrong with me. I just have sunburn, that's all, yes. I was lying under a ladder, and I got striped sunburn.
Isn't that pathetic? Well, I didn't take a second major in pathology for nothing when I was at Yale. I know what's wrong with you.
You do?
Yes.
What?
You have a particularly rare, contagious form of Tropicanus maladitis raritis. This is Lieutenant Brennan. Get me an emergency ambulance from City Hospital.
Ambulance? Could he be right?
Tim, the Brennans in this world are never wrong, even when they aren't right.
Listen, I don't understand why you just didn't go like that and get that stuff.
Because Brennan didn't take his eyes off me the whole time I was there.
Well, I hope you realize if I get examined, your goose is cooked.
I'm painfully aware of that unhappy fact, Tim, and I have no intention of letting it happen.
Hey, what do you think this is? A freeway?
Look, Sam, now don't holler.
I'm not hollering. Look, I'm not gonna holler either, so just don't holler. That's all. All right, don't holler, because I'm not gonna holler. I'm not. All right, take it easy.
All right, I'm easy.
Now, you're practically coming down my side of the freeway. The court.
Yours? Where'd you get that can of beans?
Gentlemen, please. I'm sure this can be settled in a quiet and amicable manner.
Butt out, will you, Mac?
I happen to be a police officer here on official business.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm terribly sorry, officer. But the thing is, I've been 15 years in this hospital here, sir, with a perfect safety record. Until just now when Sam runs his gurney into me.
I ran into you. You ran into me, and I got witnesses. You ran into me.
I've seen this happen before, officer. Sam tends to become emotional in a crisis.
I am not concerned with Sam's emotional problems. Right now, my only concern is to get this man into isolation before he contaminates this entire... What happened to O'Hara?
What happened to O'Hara?
That's funny. He was here just a minute ago.
No, he was here just a minute ago, but he isn't here. O'Hara. Both O'Haras. They've escaped. Quick, surround the building.
Me?
I need quick. Take me to the chief administrator. I'll throw a cordon around this entire neighborhood. They shall not pass.
What are we doing here?
We're going to borrow this gentleman's room while he's in surgery.
What do we need a room for?
As a temporary haven. Sooner or later, you're going to have to take an examination by a competent physician. Otherwise, Brennan's going to ask for a full investigation.
Well, don't you just think the doctor might notice these and think I'm some kind of interplanetary typhoid Mary?
By that time, the stripes will be gone. Ah, here we are. Now, sit down right there.
Well, what are you going to do with that?
A temporary disguise in case someone comes in while I'm gone.
Gone? Where are you going?
There isn't time to go home for the antidote. So I'll have to improvise something with whatever primitive earth drugs are available at the local pharmacy.
Well, while you're down at the local pharmacy, would you mind getting a large bottle of aspirin? Because I think I'm going to have a king-size headache.
Here. You keep rapping. Because I'd better check on Brennan. You can never tell what fearless Fosdick will do next.
Of course I'm positive, Dr. Carson. After all, I took a second major in pathology at Yale.
Yes. I am responsible for the administration of this hospital, and I will not allow my patient's routine to be upset on your diagnosis, especially one of which I've never heard and one which I seriously doubt.
I am aware of your responsibilities, Doctor, and I'm also aware of mine. I assure you, the instant you see young O'Hara, you will recognize him as a menace to society.
All right. But until I examine him personally, there will be no general alarm. You may have the services of the hospital security guards.
Very well, Doctor.
Ben,
The important thing in a situation like this is perceptive leadership, which I shall supply. All right. Follow me. This is it.
If that man's head were any bigger, I could put it in a bottle and sell it to the medical school.
What an intriguing idea. Even your own mummy wouldn't know you, Tim.
Will you stop with the corny jokes? What about Brennan?
Well, fortunately, Brennan has a most unfortunate personality, which Dr. Carson found something less than intriguing. Now, this should complete the disguise. Yes.
I feel like a Medicare package.
Bye.
Can you tell me the way to the nearest bus stop?
Honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose I should be, but actually there's a very reasonable explanation for all this.
Well, I know what the explanation is. You're just a big baby, Mr. Abernathy.
Yes, well, Mr. Abernathy?
Now we're going to be a brave little soldier and go right back to surgery, aren't we?
Surgery? I'll tell you what. You go to surgery, and I'll try and drop in later.
Mr. Abernathy, you're not being very cooperative.
Well, there's a very good reason for that. You see, I'm not who you think I am. No, I'm not really. No, my name isn't. My name happens to be Mud. That's what it happens to be.
Pardon me, nurse, but I'm looking for a couple of miscreants who are trying to escape.
Well, I have one here. Only I don't think he's the one you're looking for.
Oh? What seems to be the problem?
Well, Mr. Abernathy here is supposed to be in surgery, but he evidently panicked and ran away.
Really? Well, now, Mr. Abernathy, perhaps I can be of some assistance. There's really no need to subject yourself to that moment of abject terror.
There isn't?
Of course not. Nurse, why don't you give Mr. Abernathy here a good, strong sedative to see him through?
An excellent idea, officer.
A sedative? Oh, no. I'll be a good little soldier. Honest, I will.
You'd better hurry, Sam. Dr. Blair must be running late, or he would have been calling for Mr. Abernathy hours ago.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'll have him there in a double jiffy.
Shouldn't cause any trouble this time. I gave him a good, strong sedative.
Yes, ma'am. Two patients in one day. Oh, I'll get a bad reputation. I'm back here with my patient.
Here we are, Tim. One swallow of this, and you'll be good as new. Tim, are you asleep? Tim, wake up. Tim, look at me.
You're beautiful.
Tim. Tim, watch my finger.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to dissipate the sedative by speeding up the flow of blood through your brain.
All right. I think my red corpuscles are turning white.
Are you awake?
Well, I guess so, more or less. Did you get the antidote?
Unfortunately, we don't dare use it now that you've been given a sedative. I have no idea what the side effects might be.
Well, I'm willing to take a chance.
Thank you, Tim. But I'm not. They could be disastrous. We'll just have to let the virus M run its natural course and try to keep you out of sight during the sanative process.
The what?
Well, unhappily with virus M, the manifestations become rather spectacular. And worse, they may begin at any moment.
Well, that's what I like about you, Uncle Martin. You really know how to put a guy at ease.
Brennan's just outside the elevator, and it's about to stop at the next floor.
That's odd. There's no orderly with this patient. What? That's Mr. Abernathy from room 412. I was there just a short while ago.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Are you using the elevator?
No. As a matter of fact, this patient just came up without any attendant.
Yeah? Boy, somebody's in big trouble. The hospital's got very strict rules about that. I'll have somebody check on it as soon as I get this patient into his room.
Thank you. My theory is they'll try to escape through the boiler room. Now you stand here while I make a search of the area.
That patient is smoking!
Is there some sort of hospital rule against patients smoking?
He's gone.
I'm beginning to think you people don't know how to run a hospital. You send Mr. Abernathy up here without an attendant, and then someone comes along and practically spirits him away.
What's Mr. Abernathy got to do with it? That's Mr. Abernathy in there. I don't know who your patient was.
Nonsense. I was in room 412 when they brought him in. I never forget a face, even when I never saw his face, only the bandage. O'Hara has done it again. Come on, they had to go this way.
Uncle Martin, do something. I am going up in smoke.
I am doing something, Tim. I'm looking for an empty room to put you in during the crisis. Ah, there's one.
Crisis? What crisis? You didn't say there was going to be a
I
crisis.
didn't want to worry you, Tim. The fact of the matter is you're going to be a lot worse before you're better.
Uncle Martin, what you said about a crisis, you didn't mean...
I have every reason to believe, Tim, that you will survive. I'm not so sure about myself.
Well, what are you supposed to mean by that?
Protecting myself. In a few moments, your temperature is going to start down, and it's going to be very cold in here.
Well, what does my temperature have to do with the weather?
Everything. Your system will be throwing off heat and cold molecules alternately as it expels the submicroscopic infectious agents of virus M. You will experience a great deal less discomfort than I.
Oh, now, just a minute. You can't mean... Hey, the water cooler. It's freezing up.
They couldn't have gone that way. No. They must be in one of those rooms. Check that door.
That wasn't so bad, Uncle Martin.
Well, don't cheer yet. Your temperature is going to keep vacillating in a continually broadening range.
Oh. Open up in there. Open up. This is the police. O'Hara, are you in there? That sounds like Brennan.
It is Brennan.
What are we going to do?
Well, there's nothing we can do except sweat it out. Oh.
There's a jungle growing in there.
Quick, get Dr. Carson. We've got to save his office. Go. Go!
Tim, are you all right?
I think so. Is it over?
Well, we'll know in a minute. You're cured. Your face is still flushed, but it doesn't look like anything more than a mild sunburn.
Oh, well, that's what I told Brennan I had.
So you did, and that may prove to have been an inspiration.
What's that?
Well, it sounds like our bloodhound has turned into a battering ram. Perhaps I'd better tidy up if we're going to have company.
What in the name of Mabel's metatarsal do you think you're doing?
There's a howling blizzard in your office, Doctor, and there are 2 men in there freezing to death.
A howling blizzard? What is this? You were babbling about a steaming jungle.
That was before the blizzard.
Lieutenant, could there possibly be some explanation to your irrational behavior ever since you came into this hospital?
This whole room was... there was a raging snowstorm in here, Doctor, and the wind was howling. And just before that, it was like a steaming jungle. It was... all right. But I know I saw red stripes on young O'Hara's face.
Offhand, I'd say this patient has a simple case of sunburn.
Oh, I tried to tell you that, Brennan. But I did see red stripes on your face. I did see red stripes on his face, Doctor. I saw it with my own eyes. Oh, O'Hara, what are you trying to pull off here? You know as well as I do he had a classic case of Tropicanus maladitis raritis.
Well, I can truthfully say, Lieutenant Brennan, that I know nothing of the sort. I'm afraid the lieutenant has been overworked, Doctor. I've noticed he really hasn't been himself in the past few days.
Tell me, Lieutenant, when was the last time you had a complete physical and mental checkup?
Why, only last month, Doctor. We always have our checkup. Oh, now wait a minute, Doctor. There's nothing wrong with me.
Oh, of course there isn't, Lieutenant. However, I have a very good friend down the hall. Oh, you like him. He's a doctor, too. Come along.
It occurs to me, Tim, that our old friend, Detective William Brennan, may never be the same.
Well, it occurs to me that anything would be an improvement.
Agreed.
Oh, no. Not again. Uncle Martin!
What's that?
Your ears, dear.
Oh. Well, no need for alarm, Tim. You are forever immune from virus M.
I am?
Mm-hmm. That's the one area in which an Earthling's physical system is superior to a Martian's. You can build an immunity to certain diseases.
Oh. Well, I'm glad there's one that...
Brennan. No, Brennan, don't come in here.
I assure you it was not my idea. It was my analyst. He advised me that my first step toward rehabilitation was to apologize for my action.
We accept your apology. Goodbye.
Now, see here, O'Hara. I came to apologize, and I'm going to apologize. Now, I do admit that after all that's happened today, my face is a bit red.
A bit red?
Well, do you accept my apology, or am I going to stay here until I turn blue?
Well, just don't stand there. Let's get the antidote. If he sees those stripes, we'll wind up wearing some.